Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. We have my friend Busy Blue on the channel today. What's going on?
Hey, black by popular demand.
You guys, Busy just told me that he is not going to the Renaissance World Tour. So Beehive,
Whoa.
Sting.
Whoa! First of all, did you just try to bring me into mess? We gonna start it just like
Yes, you
that?
said that you would rather see Coco Jones than Beyonce.
I I like artists who are standing room only. I like intimate settings for artists that I like. But no, I'm not going to see Beyonce.
And can I ask why?
Well, it's just the tickets were just too pricey. We just bought a house. We're fixing stuff in the house. We're trying to
Okay.
plan an engagement. So it's just if I want to prioritize things, as much as I love Beyonce,
You were
I
supposed you
can't
supposed
afford
to
it.
spend the mortgage on her tickets. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's not what we do over here. I would
Mm.
rather save for another 3 months worth of mortgage than to pay for a Beyonce ticket. You just in this economy right now and inflation, every dollar counts.
So you were just telling me that you were into the Coco Jones EP. It's an EP.
Well, no, I think it's a full album. Have you listened to it?
No, I only hear the song on the radio. I thought it was Jasmine Sullivan at first. Then I looked at the radio. I was like, Coco Jones.
God, she's so good. You need to listen to the whole entire album. This sounds bad because I am a Normani stan, but
I was gonna
my
ask you.
fiance he sent me something and he was like, it basically, I guess she has something coming out, and I was thinking to myself, I got over it. Like I like kind of don't care.
Damn, she took too
Yeah,
long.
it took way too long.
But I saw an article and it was like the fans have been so mean to Normani over the years because the reason why it was taking so long is because her mom had cancer, some form of cancer, and she was dealing with that. And I think she was having a hard transition from Fifth Harmony to just Normani, even though I feel like she's been fairly successful.
I hear that they may be doing a comeback.
They can let it go.
No, they can't. I love Fifth Harmony.
I like them too, but then when I see like clips of like, what's her name? Allie?
Yeah.
It's like Allie was always the weakest link. Do you really want to go from like what was that song that she did at the VMAs? Her last song, Normani's last song, Wild Side,
Um,
Wild Side with Cardi B. Do
yes.
you really want to go from Wild Side to performing with Ali Express again?
Yes. First of all,
No.
Alice had a really good career by herself.
How?
What's that song? It was popular. And believe it or not, like it was everywhere. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't know this was her. Oh, I can't remember what the name of the song is, but I'm gonna send it to you. It was on the radio, it was everywhere. So
Mm,
she's had a good career by herself. And I want them to come back. But so you're going to Beyonce?
Of course.
In what city? In Atlanta?
In Atlanta, honey, in Atlanta. I'm super excited because we got to get our outfits together. Like, it's going to be a whole thing.
Who is we? Who you going with?
My friends.
Okay.
Not a man. Not a man. House of Aaron is
So
single, busy.
since when?
Since for years now.
Years?
Okay, wait. It's a on and off. It's a on and off. I shouldn't say
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
completely single.
Let's be a little bit truthful here.
That is truthful. Sometimes I'm single, sometimes I'm not. Today I'm single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No, cause listen,
Today I'm
don't.
single.
Oh, today you single?
Today I'm single.
Okay, so you're in DC. What's going on? So there are some folks running for president, right? You
Hmm.
have on the Democrat side, of course, Joe Biden. Then you have Marianne Williamson. If she makes it onto the Georgia primary ballot, I will be casting my vote for her.
Okay.
How you feel about her?
I have no thoughts about anything politics
Oh,
wise.
you can't answer questions about politics. Does that interfere with your personal professional?
Yes.
Damn. So you can't tell me how you feel about Marianne.
Mm-mm.
Damn, you can't tell me how you feel about the indictment.
No. No.
What happened to freedom of speech, First Amendment?
That I don't know.
Okay. Well, we could have a crook back into the White House. Beware. First Amendment. We got to work on that. Like, it shouldn't be no conflict of interest. We should be able to speak truth to power, especially during Pride Month and Juneteenth weekend. As a gay black man.
Have you ever done any Pride events?
What you mean?
I've never been to any Pride.
Oh, I mean, in Atlanta, I've been to a couple. Like we have stuff that happens in Piedmont Park. In any other city, I don't believe so.
I've never gone to anything.
They just had DC Pride. Why you ain't go?
I don't think I was here.
Where were you?
My sister graduated from nursing school.
Oh, congratulations, sister.
Yeah, so we were up in New York. And then I was supposed to go with my friend for the New York City one, but my goddaughter is graduating, so can't do that either. So
boo.
1 year I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my body right. I'm gonna be so naked.
Oh, not you gonna get your body right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm gonna get my body right, and I'm going to wear no clothes. I'm gonna be so naked, and I'm gonna be on somebody's float. I'm gonna be at somebody's party, parade.
And how does your man feel about that?
He don't care. He wants the people to look at me and gawk at me.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go to New York this weekend. I don't know. I still might. It's only Tuesday, so
you should.
The week is still young. I think I will. I don't know. It's up in the air.
You got friends there who you'll go with?
I do. I don't have friends that I am going with, but I have friends there.
Okay.
That I can go with.
Go live your life.
And men. You know what I mean?
You single? You are single.
You know what I mean? I am single. Single.
I said go do it. Go do it.
In New York, they got the finest. I feel like
I don't think so. I'm sorry, but it's something about people in Houston, Texas.
I haven't been to Houston in years.
I'm sorry. Every time I go to Houston, it's just like, how y'all make them like this?
They say that about DC though. They say there's a lot of fine gay black men in DC. I dated one guy in DC. Probably one of the finest niggas I ever dated.
He was attractive.
You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, I do.
How you know?
Because
I showed you a picture.
About it. Yes.
I don't remember that.
Because you don't care about our time together, but
damn. But he was so freaking mean.
I remember how mean he was.
Terrible to me. Like, I was washing dishes, and he didn't like the way I was washing the dishes. He didn't like the way I was breathing. He didn't like the way I was blinking. He didn't like the way I gave head. No, I'm kidding.
The thing is, it was right before I came, and then you were all in a bad mood because of that a-hole.
No, I think you just talking shit. I'm serious. I don't even think I saw you that time.
You did. No, I'm talking about when I was in Atlanta. It was right before I stayed with you.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And you were all in such a bad mood, and I was thinking, I'm so happy to see my friend, and that man had your mood all messed up.
He did. But you were also a pain in my ass as well.
Because
you're a very difficult person.
I've never heard that in my life.
You're very difficult. You're just like you have high expectations. When your birthday? What kind of are you?
March 5th.
Wow. Okay. So why are we so different? I'm not like you. I'm the 6th.
I will sit out the red carpet and do anything. Like if my friends coming to visit, it's gonna be an experience. You know it. It's planned. I'm ready. All of those things. And because you knew I was coming for months, and then when I don't know
if it was months. I don't think it was no month.
You could barely remember if you told me about one of your boyfriends. Okay, so you knew for months, and then There was nothing planned, and I was trying to put stuff together so that we can do stuff. And then you thought I
Honestly,
was being needy when I was
you
like,
were. You
we're
were.
not doing anything. This is my life. Those are my last days. You dropped me off at the airport, and it was my last like 2 or 3 days, and I was thinking, are we gonna do anything?
Honestly, there are two types of, oh, I'm coming into town, let me stay with you, friends. There are two types of experiences.
Okay.
One where you do plan and you roll out the red carpet. I was not in that mind frame, and maybe it was just me not reading the situation right, but I just felt like it was type B, where you just come over, you stay over, and you go with the flow. And whenever we get ready to do something, we do it. Like, I don't know. I thought it was going to be more like that. I didn't get the vibe that you were expecting me to like have stuff planned and, okay, let's do this and let's go here. I wasn't
Yeah.
prepared. And then my
I
mood was
wanted to see
also,
Atlanta. So someone showed me their view of Atlanta,
they
and y'all live in
did.
2 separate parts.
And you
So I went
weren't
to see
satisfied.
yours.
You weren't satisfied with their part, clearly.
Well, that's not true. I'm saying that I saw someone
Because you were
else's
very
side of Atlanta.
disgruntled.
We can move on.
Who else you know in Atlanta? No. Didn't you have an ex? Do you have an ex?
Yes.
Okay. Different conversation,
Well,
different day.
it wasn't an ex. We dated for a while, but he's not my ex. He's a YouTuber too, so
So, question: your man is okay with you hanging out with your exes or
yeah,
people you dated?
yeah.
Wow, y'all have a very secure relationship.
Well, he is the most secure person in the world. Like he's very secure, he's very independent, and he really doesn't care about a whole lot of stuff. So it makes it very easy when I care about everything. And he's just like, whatever. Like whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, I don't care. And it makes it so much easier. I think without him, this balance would be horrible, but he balances it out.
What sign is he?
Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know Pisces and Scorpios. That's like the perfect match.
I thought it was a Virgos.
Scorpios. Best sex of your life.
It was, but then I had sex with this girl. She was crazy afterwards.
Oh, a woman's. See, that's different. Women are different. I don't know about the women's.
Mhm.
Pisces, gay Pisces, male Pisces, male Scorpio. Like the
That was good too,
chemistry.
but then also he had no direction.
What do you mean no direction?
I was dating one, he just had no direction. Like he didn't forward think. And where I'm like, okay, well, I want us to plan for this. He was just like, why? Like just live in the moment. And
Mm,
it's just like, that's not how life works. Like you
mm,
have to prepare, you have to plan. And
mm.
he's moved from city to city to city to city, doing odds and ends jobs, just trying to make it work because I'm sure he's happy. Because he gets to experience the world. I think he's a flight attendant now.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, do he live in Houston?
No,
Um,
no.
mm. Okay. Listen, the real reason why I wanted you to come onto the channel is to talk about Housewives. We got this breaking news today. Monique and Chris Samuels. They're done. They're done. They're
No!
done.
Cheers to that.
Why are we cheersing? I'm
She's a lying,
sad.
she's
I'm
a
sad.
lying liar who lies. She
Mhm.
doesn't tell the truth. She's never told the truth. I didn't like that she tried to control the narrative when it came down to her in the barn. It really bothered me to my soul, to my core, and people ran with the narrative that she put out there. Then she tried to do that hoodoo voodoo on y'all again when people said, girl, they breaking up. She got on to, are we breaking up? No. Are we did it? No. How we gonna do? No. You're a lying liar who lies. I guess she must have blacked out when she did that video too, because she's a liar. She's a liar. And it must be so hard to be in a relationship with a narcissist. And I am glad that finally she's getting her just due. And to be honest with you, I think we need to go back into the files and see that best friend. What she was talking about, was that true? Was it with the trainer? Was she sleeping with the trainer? Have we done all the DNA tests? Because you're like, that look my baby, right? That's because she giving him lines to read off. And to be honest, y'all YouTubers who not, y'all really not keeping up to date like that. She found that thing in April. We in June, okay? And she was lying about what she was doing this whole entire time. They've been trying to separate. And if she can file for like full divorce, the reason why they were sitting apart, just like Ashley said, in Maryland, you have to live apart for a year or be separated for at least a year. So when they did that video, they were preparing for separation. She let her slip show, but she was like, yes, he's staying in one house, I'm staying in another house because we need a little bit of time apart. No, y'all don't need no little bit of time apart. Y'all are divorcing, and y'all are doing what the courts say you have to do in order to make sure that this divorce is handled the adequate way in Maryland. And now here you are, you pushed out those 3 babies. I'm sure, to be honest, I feel sorry for Chris because he had to deal with a narcissist this whole marriage. She was putting the wedge between his mother and her. And then we had all these issues with who's cheating, who's not cheating, who's sleeping with a trainer, who's not sleeping with a trainer, best friends, brothers, cousins, you fighting bad press on me. And then she found ways to make sure that she can be integrated into everything. You wasted all his money on that podcast. You wasted all that money on that live show. And you didn't want to tell him that you was wasting the money on the live show, not for married moms. And now here we are. I hope you're out here buying her essential oils. And I hope Bailey Eve or Broke by Eve is going to make it through. Okay, because once these children turn some type of way, I hope Chris been looking at all the documentation. Because I'm sure she's going to act like, well, we've been handling the household. I had my brothers doing this, girl. Because you are a ghetto trick from the 90s. And you swindled your way into that man's heart. And then you did what you did. You did that hoodoo voodoo and controlled him. And now you're getting a divorce. I think this was all planned. I think it was very strategic. I think that best friend who was going around telling your business was trying to warn the people. She's here for the check.
I mean, at that point, when you decide to separate with somebody, yeah, that's all you need to think about is your financial stability.
She came into it thinking about the check.
And what was Chris thinking about?
He probably really liked her. And to be honest, he probably was feeling like, this beautiful rapper has my eye. And she also is into me too. And just like her best friend said in one of those leaked things, she knew what she was doing. Monique got with him for the bag and popped out 3 babies.
And I hope she get all the money she's owed. I hope they ain't got no prenup.
Child, I hope I can give her a quarter on the corner. Here you go, sis. Sorry about what happened to you.
Damn, I didn't know y'all felt that way about Miss Monique.
Always.
Wow.
Street Fighter Williams. Wait, what's her last name?
Not Street Fighter, Samuels.
Samuel, Street Fighter Samuels. Wait, what's her maiden name? Is she gonna keep the Samuels? You gonna try to keep her name? You think because you're a fan of hers, right?
Why not? I mean, I like her, yes. I do.
You think she's gonna come back on reality television?
I mean, I would think, why not? Yeah. I don't know. She said prior to all of this, months and months and months ago, that she don't feel like reality TV is for her. So do I feel like I feel like the likeliness of her coming back to reality TV is slim to none. But would I like to see it? Yes. Like, why not? Or she could be a friend of Potomac. Give Giselle a run for her money, because I kind of feel like Giselle and Robin, they kind of running the girls right now. Then they got NECA on there. They got NECA to go against Wendy too. Yeah, so why not have Monique pop in as a friend? She could pop in as Who is she friends with? Ashley Fran, child, and be messy.
Child, it did. I want it because I would like for us to redo the scene. How many homes do you have now? Brokey, divorcee.
Her name might be on those homes. And if they get a divorce, they'll have to split it in half. Hopefully she don't got no prenup. If she ain't got no prenup, everything that's his is hers.
I have
So
4 homes. How many homes you got now?
and then there's child support. Who's gonna have primary custody? Right? So she's not gonna be on no corner asking for quarters, especially when she's the mother of his children.
I wonder if she's gonna
be taken care of. And
Chris
she has a business.
She does?
She has, yes. Why you call it Broke Eve? What you call it?
Bailey Eve, Broke Eve.
It's a business. It's, from what I see, it's doing pretty well.
Oh, because the website's up?
She did what she was supposed to do when you marry someone wealthy.
And that's all I'm saying.
You use their wealth to get some wealth for yourself.
She's a nasty person. And I saw this coming because this is how she moves. She's always moved this way. I never trusted her. And she has narcissistic ways. And it's not even that things aren't going well, because I feel like she set this up. I feel the saddest for Chris, because he didn't know she was doing this. She set it up. She put y'all disgruntled marriage on Love and Marriage DC, and it was like, oh, I don't want to do TV anymore because you got enough footage to show the court that we just couldn't work.
Wouldn't it be easier to just keep them? Wouldn't it be more better for her pockets to just stay married? I'm confused.
No, I think she has some stuff that's already laid out where she can win this. And she has yes people around her. I believe she's going to end out on top of this fine. It's just,
I do too.
My problem is I hate when the villain wins. And I feel like she's the villain. And I feel like she put her plan together. I'm about to get these coins. I'm about to get these houses, pop out these babies, put these businesses together. And then now that I have all of the success, notoriety, everything's working well for me. Oh, I need more from you, Chris. It's just not working now. Stuff's not working out.
It ain't working out. They were going to therapy. He wasn't doing the homework. He was emotionally detached. We didn't know where he was, child. Picking arguments with her in front of the friends at the damn, they had some scene at the house where he was picking fights.
I don't think he was that bad of a husband.
He may not have been as bad, but I kind of felt like they portrayed her in a very, like, I'm not going to say I don't like, but I can understand why Monique didn't like her portrayal onto that show. And I get why she quit, because I don't think that they were paying. They can't be paying what Bravo was paying.
At all.
They had to be paying a third, if that, because if OWN don't have the budget to have decent confessionals, they certainly don't have the budget for the salaries. Okay? So, with that being said, Carlos King was not cutting that check.
Apparently not. Your skin looks really good. What'd you be using?
Thank you. Shea butter.
That's it?
It's shea butter. Face wash, Hims, face wash, water, shea butter.
Amen.
Look, right here. I put it on my lips. That's why it's right here. Okay. Anyways, so Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. So listen, I didn't know that I was gonna become a fan of Marlo.
You would consider yourself a fan of hers?
Okay, I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but this season has made me okay. As a reality TV watcher, I am biased, and a lot of people, they come under my comments and they say, you're biased. You need to be unbiased, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, yes, I have my own opinions, my own thoughts, and I choose a team and I choose a side, or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm more neutral. Sometimes I'm more unbiased. It just depends on how I feel that day.
Right.
But I am a very biased blogger, because people tune into me because they want to know what I think.
Yes.
So, personally, I know me, when I'm watching TV, I root for underdogs. I
Me
tend to
too.
root for people that are being piled on. I like to see the perspective of the person that everybody does not like.
When's your birthday again?
March 6th.
Okay. I always say we have the same birthday, but I always forget your birthday is right after mine.
Yes.
So yes,
So,
because I'm the same way. Everything you just said, 100%.
so I've seen Marlo and Sanya in a different light where it's like I can understand them a little bit more. How do you feel about this season?
Um, One, to go off of what you said, I agree with you. I do hate where people come to your channel to tell you how you should provide your feelings
Thank
on
you.
a subject. It's frustrating. They do the same to me. And it's just like you don't have to come here if you don't want to hear my opinion. These are my thoughts, these are my ideas, these are my
And then
feelings about what I see.
they treat it like it's damn like we talking about. It would be different if the topic was like abortion or like I don't like
They wouldn't get that invested
immigration,
in
to where it's like
politics.
really personal to people's lives. But I'm like, we're literally talking about a TV show that is for entertainment. And you are too upset with me because I don't see it your way. I just find that to be insane.
And it's about human, I think what frustrates me sometimes is that these shows are about human dynamics,
Mm-hmm.
friendships, and women in girl groups or friendship groups, how they interact with each other, how they interact with their husbands, how they interact with their kids, their family. We get to see them, this whole scope of them as a person, as a human. And what we're doing is just dissecting or taking that in and then thinking about our for what some people can. I love sociology and psychology. I was a political science major, but human interaction, it just really interests me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what frustrates me sometimes is that they pick a person, which it could be that you're more like them, or you see yourself in them, or you wish you were more like them, or you're rooting for them. And then that's the only side sometimes I feel like they can only see, and it takes away from what the show's premise is, which is the group dynamic and how these girls interact with each other. You got to take everybody's background, everybody's experience, everybody's feelings into consideration when you think about this group dynamic. You can't just pick one person, say, I like them, so anything this other person says is wrong. Anything this person says or does is wrong. When if we look at every person, they kind of showcase the same actions, the same thoughts, the same feelings. They just release them and give them differently. And the fans are just making it hard because I look at TV shows like that, they get frustrated when I can finally understand someone else's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And now I sound dumb. Somebody call me uneducated, or
Wow.
I'm not- you're not. I'm being biased. Like I can't even just say, you know what? I get what they're saying without my head being chopped off.
Right.
And this season has gotten very Candace and Monique,
Mm.
Real Housewives of Potomac, where the season became exhausting because the fans were split on who's right, who's wrong. And at one point, it was like, I'm not reviewing this anymore because everybody's angry and nobody's having fun. And I feel like that's where this is going. Hopefully, we stop with the dead nephew and all of that stuff,
Yeah,
and we move on to
because
something else.
yeah. Yeah. How do you feel
Do you
about
feel like
Candy
she
this?
was insensitive? Candy was insensitive
Well,
on
I
her
did.
speak on it.
I feel like Candy has had insensitive moments. Yes, in her speak on it. You're saying specifically in her speak on it.
When she did her speak on it, and she was like, I looked at the thing. I don't know the boy. He worked for me this day, this day. What else you want me to do?
Yeah, because it's giving those are indicators. When she does stuff like that, those are indicators that she does not care. Like in last Sunday's episode when she said "fuck you" and those flowers. To me, not only are you saying "fuck you" to Marlo, but you're also essentially saying "fuck your situation" and what you're talking about. And it's okay to be like, I just don't care, and that's the reason why I didn't show up for you in the way that you wanted me to. And so I felt like, I think the thing that people don't understand is, or that they refuse to understand, is the fact that Marlo can feel how she want to feel. No matter if they're best friends, no matter if he only worked there for a few months, if he wasn't working there at the time of his passing, to me it doesn't matter. Her feelings are still her feelings, and it's a combination of things. We had the family telling her, where's Kandi? Why she ain't doing this? Why she ain't sending no flowers? Why she ain't, contact the mama? Like, then you have the trigger from the shooting. Like, and I do feel like Marlo is combining issues where you
It
have
makes
one
it hard.
issue of, right, you have one issue of, holding you to account because something is happening to your business and you're deflecting, you don't want to talk about it. But then I also feel triggered because I kind of felt like you could have did a little bit more when I told you that my nephew passed. So that does make it hard for the fans because they're like, okay, so what's your issue? What are you really mad at? Like, what's really going
Yeah.
on? And Marlo isn't the most articulate person. And what I've noticed throughout the season is that every time she kind of explains it, she gets interrupted. And it's a really long, complex story. And so if you don't really give her the space to really explain it, you'll miss the point of it. And I think that's what Sanya was trying to say to Kandi. And then, Sanya
When
got cut
Kenny was
off.
like, "No, you don't have to be her defense attorney. You don't have to defend her." It's just very frustrating. And just as a person like me, I don't know if this happens to you. I'm sure it does.
Mm,
I have friends
yes.
who are phone people.
Mm.
They want to be on the phone with you. They want to talk on the phone with you. Okay. I am not a phone person. I'm a
Really?
FaceTime or texter, but don't call me. Like I'm not holding the phone. Like I'm just not doing that. It's not my thing. Because I love people, I want to see you. So if we can FaceTime or we can text. I'll text you all day long. I have friends who are like, you don't call me, and it's a bother to me, and it's frustrating. And I just feel like you could call me more. And I think to myself, I'm just not a I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. I don't think they're wrong for their feelings, but I can't give that to you, and I'm
Right.
sorry. Let's find another way to work around this. They think it's weird that Marlo's saying, "I just wish I had more from you. I just wish you did more."
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the fans take it as she don't need to do anything. She didn't have to. Why is she's pressed about paying for the who says she has to do anything? And they're removing the fact that y'all been a friend before, and sometimes you thought your friend was lacking. Do they
Right.
need to do anything? No. No one needs to do anything for anyone. But you can have feelings about what you feel like they missed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why it's not connecting to people that Marlo just felt like something was missing and she could have had a little bit more. It's just been so hard because we're talking about a deceased young man and people. I don't know where this narrative came from about now she doesn't care about her nephew. People are now saying she never
She
knew
didn't,
him.
yeah, like she didn't know where he worked and all of this other stuff. And my thing is, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I have family members that don't know what I do for a living. They ain't seen me in 10 years. And if I died today, they would be so concerned and whatever, whatever. And they would be concerned 2 years after the fact as well. Like, it doesn't matter. And honestly, if Kandi didn't give a F about the employee, fine. But Marlo, you've known Marlo for over a decade. Your concern should be
Long
for
time.
her, really. But they also say, well, why did you wait 2 years to bring it up? Why she wait 2 years to bring it up?
My thing is you can't put a timeline or deadline on grief. Um people grieve in different ways. How they grieve. Y'all saw Kandi crying about her brother, and he died 20 years ago. You can't put a timeline on what's going to trigger you, what's going to bring up emotions, what's going to happen. Candy's non-acknowledgement, this whole situation brought up a feeling that she probably didn't know she had.
That's what I
And
was thinking. Yeah.
yeah, she probably just didn't know she had these feelings. And when you start going to therapy and on peeling back the onion, there's a lot of emotions. You start calling your parents, thinking, you know what, y'all did me wrong. A lot of things happen. So I feel like she got triggered, and that's why she's bringing it up. And I don't think that there is a problem with if it was 2 years later, 5 years later. Now she's understanding that this is something that bothered me. And it will be good to talk about that because it's good to talk about your feelings. And they want to diminish her feelings because they said it's a deadline on grief. He died 2 years ago. Why are you bringing it up now? Because now it's triggering me. Because Kandi can sit across from saying yeah and say, when I was 15, I became numb because my brother died. Because some situations can trigger your emotions. But I don't understand why when it comes to Marlo, they don't see it. And it's the same thing that they see for other cast members. And it's frustrating to
Well,
me.
Marlo, I think the way in which she expresses herself is completely unacceptable. I think it's very childish behavior. She acts like a child. And I think her antics are what make people not want to understand where she's coming from. Like the banging on the door, that was a bit much. Even if you felt like, okay, Kenya, you're embarrassed because your event was a flop. You're embarrassed because you know that you're planning to get the flu tomorrow because you know that this was a fake halftime show.
You said it,
Right?
not me. I don't think she ever had one.
I'm just talking shit. But listen, like, even if you feel that way, even if you feel like she's using her daughter as an excuse, you don't bang, like, you're doing the most. These girls are never going to understand you. And that's one thing about friendship. And going back to what you said, there's no cap on grief. There is no cap on grief. But somebody once told me that if you have an issue with somebody, it is best that when you feel it in the moment, you say it in the moment. Because years later, it kind of becomes the issue won't be about the initial issue. It'll be about the fact that you harboring feelings, and now people will think that you have ulterior motives. So
I
that's
can
one.
understand that.
But then going back to the door, her actions are so just, it's like you're screaming for attention. You're screaming for acceptance. It's very clear.
But this is
It's clear.
this is very Real Housewifey.
Like what
Well,
she
I
did
know
to
her
Drew,
kicking the
that was a
door
lot.
seemed childish, but on Potomac, they putting snakes in people's beds. Like, I just, girl,
That's a
the
joke.
only thing
That's
I
a
was
joke.
doing was saying, get out here, girl. Like, if Kenya would have been like, girl, we trying to sleep in here. It's like, girl, we didn't know what's going on. It could have been a playful moment. I needed to wake you up, girl. We all out here right now. What's going
Yeah,
on?
but you don't play with somebody that's not your friend.
Do you or do you? I mean, I guess because
You don't
carrying
play
away
with people.
pizza
Now
boxes was simple in
Sheree and
house.
Manietta, they can knock and bang and ha ha he girl, get out, get out here.
You don't think Kenya would have
Marlo,
had the same attitude?
I'm not sure, but I'm just, for me, if I know that I'm low key beefing with this person, we are not friends, but we trying to be cordial for the situation. I
Yeah.
am not about to kiki cackle and play with you. I'm gonna give you your distance. I'll let your real friends play with you, and I'll just, take the backseat role. But she lacks
Are her real
it's a
friends
bit. Yeah, go ahead.
playing with her? Are her real friends playing with? Tell me this, Eric, because I was on Scotty by Nature TV's channel yesterday, and
Yes.
we did the Whether You Like It or Not podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had this question, and I never got an answer to it. No, I did get the answer to it because when all else fails, blame production. This where my issue is.
Okay.
Kenya, Drew, and Kandi,
Mm-hmm.
the fun girls. They supposed to be the ones who getting the girls together, having the fun times.
And Manietta.
Hey boy,
Is she a...
Marietta,
oh.
Marietta. Martha,
Find your
have we seen them just get together and have fun?
To gossip, yes, we did. Remember
Only
they was
one
at
time
they was
to
at the Candy
gossip,
Coated Factory and Candy had on the Gucci dress and they was gossiping about Sheree and Candy was laughing so hard because she was kikiing and, you know, low-key being a mean girl and she said
but they're not out doing anything.
yeah.
We have to rely on Sheree and Sanya getting frozen. We doing Beat the Bomb without them. We're
Right.
doing, oh, what was that other event that they had? It was Sanya and the other girls are coming together and having fun, having cocktails, drinks, going out, doing stuff. And we see Kenya with a random person at her business. We
Akila, the
see,
new LaToya. Yeah.
yeah, we see Kandi with ties always sitting at the computer. We barely see Drew, and when we do see her, she sit, Croy sit, everybody sit.
Drew better sit her
Like
with
what?
Mickey Mouse built like a box ass down.
Where's Drew been this season? Drew, where have you been? MIA, missing in action. For somebody, she went onto Twitter the other day talking about Marlo should have stayed a friend of. Girl, where have you been? And then this is what really pissed me off. Speaking of Beat the Bomb, okay, we get why Candy left. The van came out. Okay, you can clock out. All y'all other girls, especially Drew and Kenya, you had the flu and you gave us a flop mini vacation. No, you need to stay and put in all your hours. Drew Sidora, you've been missing in action. You missed the premiere and you had the flu. You missed Alabama. You don't have the means to go and leave filming early. Manietta, you are not escaping the puppet allegations. You need to stay and act like you friends with these other girls.
And they didn't even drive together, because that was one of the things that I brought up yesterday when people were like, well, they left to support her.
She's not a victim. Marlo didn't do anything.
Behind Kandi to her house? Like, what do y'all mean support her? Did they all drive?
Kenny's not a victim.
Because remember when Kim had that problem with Kenya and Sheree brought her over to Portia house. And then we got a chance to see them collectively talk about what the issue was when she talked about her whole daughter and all of that. They didn't even go and have a discussion somewhere else. Like, it's just like filming is done. We're done. So my question is, what are they bringing and doing? Because the girls are better than Marlo, Sheree, Sanya, but we've seen them every episode. They've been at all of the events. They give us all of the laughs and the frustrations, all of the questions, and they're the ones we're talking about the most. Yet, these are the ones that people are saying they're not a good fit. Well, then what's the fit? Because I'm not getting anything from the other girls.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like Kandi and Kenya, they're the senior most members of the group. Sheree's an OG.
Also senior citizens.
Sheree is an OG, but Kenya and Kandi have been there the longest. And I just kind of feel like Kenya and Kandi, they off in La La Land doing what they want to do, only extracting the platform for what it can do for their businesses, which is smart. That's great, but you're forgetting to put on a good show for the people. Thank God we have Sheree, who's not so money hungry, who's actually going to use her OG status to pull the girls together and squash the issue so that we can at least get a brunch, a full scene, a full group scene.
How do you feel about the people saying that they already did their work?
Okay, no, as long as you're on this platform, you got to continue to do the work. Okay, will be the first time Kandi will be sitting next to Andy since Phaedra was on the show. So, thank you, Marlo.
You think that's going to be the
Kenya will be in the middle again because she let Marlo upstage her. Marlo is doing no matter. Now, listen, I disagree with Marlo and her antics. I don't like the fact that she's banging on the door. I don't like the fact that she's slamming the door in Manietta's face. Like, girl, you know you slammed the door. I don't like the fact that, she's yelling in Drew's face. However, what makes Marlo a good reality TV star is that she kind of worries about the consequences of her actions later. And so, in the moment, you're getting the true her. And that's why Marlo will be first seat again. And it's only her second time being a peach holder. And Kenya will be somewhere off to the end because Kenya's not doing anything. You want to have another baby with this man who has majority of y'all's marriage, you've been in a divorce. Honey, why would you do that?
She's been married for 5 years.
You've been married for 1.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, it sounds like she may be the last seed.
Kenya?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what else does she? We don't really see her. There's nothing really going on, and she's like actively not interacting with the other
I think she wanted a puppet.
You think Kenya's a puppet now?
Kenya a puppet, Manietta a puppet. Drew is definitely a puppet. Hold on, do I have that screenshot? Drew is definitely a puppet. What the fuck is this?
I stand with you.
Okay, so I stand with you at Kandi, love you, hashtag.
About what?
Right, like what? Kandi is not Now, it would be different if Kandi decided to open up about the shooting at her restaurant. Then, I'm just coming from a producer story perspective. And then Kandi could play victim like, oh my God, my cousin, he was injured and hurt. I feel so terrible. And then it's like, okay, Drew goes to Twitter. I stand with Kandi. I support you. Because that's like a real storyline. That's a real situation. But as far as Marlo and Kandi, Marlo ain't did nothing to that girl. But express her feelings. Anyways, Kandi.
She's a weirdo.
You better sit her little Mickey Mouse ass down.
So how do you feel about Kandi this season? Because honestly, the girls are upset. They're saying, I can't believe you turned on Kandi.
You turned on Kandi.
She gave you an interview. I'm like, girl, when Kandi give me a check.
She gave you an opportunity. She came on your platform. She met you guys. I'm gonna be honest. I still love Kandi.
I do too.
I think she has great business chops. I think that she has a really good story when it comes more to her child. I really want to see her family dynamic with how her, Todd, and the kids operate. I'm so interested in it, and she won't give it to us. Like, I know she said she was struggling being a good mom. I want to see how she's doing it. Is she still struggling? Show us that. I don't care about Mama Joyce and Todd. None of that. I don't care about Todd's movie. None of that. I care about how Kandi is operating as a mom. Her daughter already said you're not a good hands-on mother. You don't have enough time. And now she has 2 little ones. How is she doing it? Show us that. I feel like right now she's resting a little bit. She didn't go on a group trip. I'm not seeing her truly film with anybody else like that outside of she went to her business, or no, this last episode she did film with Sanya at her business. Where's the fun stuff now? I'm needing more from her. I like her being there. She's a good name. She's a good face. And she's a fun time.
Agreed.
I think I'm starting to see an alliance or why are you not respecting me enough? And that part is bothering me. And I truly am starting to see how the way she operates on this show is business minded. And it's like, don't attack me, my family, my businesses, don't come for that stuff.
Nothing.
But she can do that with everybody else. And if you do it to her, then you're not on my side. What are you not doing? Why are you not getting it? I'm done with her. F her. And it's like Nene is here again.
Kandi is a Nene Jr. If it's not my way, it's the highway. If you're not on my side, then you're my enemy. If you're not vouching for me and standing up for me, then you're on the other side. And it's like, girl, the ego. I love Kandi. I think Kandi is sweet. I'm glad she came onto my platform. She does give a lot of little people really big opportunities. She employs a lot of people. She's the mayor of Atlanta. She is a big name. She is the richest and the most paid and the longest running. And I give her all the accolades.
Right.
But you're a mini Nene, and your ego was out of control.
Do you think she sees? Well, one, do you think she sees that? And then two, why do you think the other people aren't seeing it? Because when it came to Nene,
I'll tell you why.
It was very clear, and people were like, "Yeah, I kind of didn't like Nene when she got on her high horse," and we saw it clear as day. She wasn't going to film with people. She wasn't going to come to a scene. She was going to leave a scene early, and if people were there that she didn't like, she wasn't going to come, or she came in extremely late and she didn't care. She wasn't talking to you. She's going to ignore you or do anything. It just became the Nene show, and I feel like that's what Kenya and Kandi are doing, and I don't see why the viewers aren't seeing that.
I think it's her personality. The way in which you present
likable.
yourself can mask what you're really doing and what you're really about. Marlo was very loud. Marlo was very proud. She's hood. Marlo is ghetto. Marlo is not perfect. Kandi tries to be like this perfect figure. I'm a businesswoman. I employ Black people. I have a charity and a foundation. I'm this, I'm that. I want to be an EGOT winner. I want to win the Tonys. I'm the longest running. I'm the highest paid. I'm the mayor of Atlanta. But she doesn't have an overt personality. Most times, it's very laid back. It's very like, I don't have to be the loudest in the room. Right? Marlo is the loudest in the room. And so I think her personality type makes her more likable. And when she's a Nene Jr., when she wants everybody to kiss her ass, it's easy for the viewers not to see that because she's not overt with it. And Kandi's smart. Those stands, she has amassed like a beehive Barb's sort of following because I have not agreed with Kandi these past 7 episodes. And when I tell you, I don't think I ever received this much hate in my whole 3-4 years of doing YouTube. I did not know that Kandi's clique was like the damn beehive. I'm shocked.
And it's only, well, I don't know. I know this is like this for me. I'm only getting attacked because I understand Marlo. It's not even that I'm like,
that you're attacking Kandi.
I'm not even trashing
like
Kandi.
They act like you're going online saying, "Oh, Kandi's ugly and she sounds like a billy goat."
Not saying any of that stuff. It's just like I can see where Marlo's coming from, and then that ignites all their hatred because we understand Marlo. And that's where I'm getting confused. Why y'all saying that I'm being biased or I'm not getting it and all of these other things only because you just hate Kandi? Just say that. If I get that comment one more time, just say you're
a Kandi. Yeah, you're a Kandi hater. And it's like, girl, do y'all understand what the word hate is? Like, really? But I think the thing that really was like, yes, I knew I was right in my feeling about who Kandi was. Not saying she's a bad person, but I knew I was right. When she released that damn preview of the Speak on it, going to hell in on Sanya Richards Ross like that. I was like,
too much.
I'm right. I was like, I know I'm right. Sanya did not say not one negative thing about you. And just because you, Kandi, were not a part of her, Dreamcast, now all of a sudden you want to, like, ice her out and drag her. Like, I just kind of felt like it's giving Mean Girl.
The sentence did not fit the crime.
At all.
One, I feel like she tiptoed so heavily and around Kandi.
And I
And
hate that.
there was a reason for why she said no Kandi. I want to experience new girls. I would love Phaedra to be on there, but if Phaedra's on there, then Kandi won't be on there.
Right.
But I will bring her back next season.
Trying to appease Kandi.
And still that wasn't enough.
Sanya's gonna get dropped if she keep trying to tiptoe around the girls. If she keep trying to not to piss them off, she's gonna get dropped. She needs to stand firm. And I think she's getting there. She's getting there because she's not letting the girls get her to turn on Marlo. And I appreciate that. But if she doesn't get out of this mentality, well, let me not piss Kandi off. Let me not piss Kenya off. You're going to get dropped because you stay on the fence for too long trying to be nice to everybody. The producers don't like that. And neither do the fans. She's got to drop.
I like her. Is she a Pisces?
I don't know what. Let me look it up.
I think what I love about her is that she's empathetic and she wants to hear everyone's side.
She's a voice of reason.
You said what?
She's a voice of reason.
Yeah. And to some people, it looks like she's riding the fence. But to me, it looks like, no, I'm not picking a side. I just get her. And you should hear her out before you pick on her. And when people are saying, well, she needs to hold her accountable. And I'm thinking accountability is not good. There's nothing to hold her accountable for because she's looking at her friend. She's hearing why she's reacting that way. And then she's saying, well, then maybe you're not wrong because I get what you're saying. I don't know when this whole hold these people accountable thing came through. But if you see your friend hurting, you understand what's going on, you could say, you know what? I wouldn't have reacted that way, but I definitely know why she's reacting that way. And y'all are not even trying to give her a chance. I feel like she is neutral, in my opinion. I feel like she's neutral-ish. She's definitely swayed more to the one side, but I think if she's
trying her best.
Yeah, if she's a Pisces, I feel like she's like, what y'all not gonna do is just bag on this lady and y'all being rude, especially since y'all been rude to me too.
Kenya.
What is she?
She is a Pisces, February 26th.
Yeah, see, I see it in her. I see it in her. She's feeling all of the emotions, but she's trying to get people to hear each other.
Right.
And I do agree with you. Riding the fence for a long time is going to be a problem. And people want her to say that she's picked a side. I don't feel like she has picked a side yet. If she did, who cares? But I feel like she's hearing this person and then she's hearing this person. And she's saying, you guys should talk to each other because maybe it will get settled once you both truly understand. But because Kandi doesn't want to hear it and Marlo's delivery isn't right, they're not getting to each other. And because she feels more of what Marlo's going through, she's like, well, just listen to her, hear her out, try it. Let's try to smooth this over. They look at her as you picked the side already, you need to put your foot down. And I don't think so. I feel like she would do the same for Kandi to Marlo. If she was like, well, I feel like Kandi felt this way, da-da-da-da, and maybe you should talk to her.
Right. Sanya is a very level-headed person, and she's a very sweet person. The fact that Kenya and them is treating her like that, I don't like that.
She's really real to me. Sometimes almost too real. Like she seemed like somebody that I would know. Like sometimes it's just too regular of a person. Like I love her in the group, but there are times that I'm like, girl, you're a little too regular.
I agree. She might be too regular for this group. Because you got to learn how to roll with the punches. It's too many scenes where I feel like she feels, blindsided. And it's like, you need to show up to these scenes thinking that they're gunning for you, baby. And you need to know what you're about to say, okay? Write them reads down.
Right. Come on, write them down.
Okay.
What do you feel about Sheree, though, and where she stands?
You know, I was happy with what Sheree did in the last episode as an OG. She's trying to take, like, that Karen Huger. She's trying to adapt that Karen Huger energy. as like the mother. So I did like that. You know, Sheree's not really pissing me off this season. She hasn't done anything that I don't like. I just don't like the fact that, one, where are the designs that the fashion designers designed? Okay. So I can't be too upset with Kandi calling She by Sheen.
I think I saw somebody with a She by Sheree outfit on working out the other day, though. I'm
Ooh.
not even joking.
Yeah, probably one of three. She only has like 3 jumpsuits. You know, what do
Okay.
they call it? 2-piece sets. Where are the designs? And then also, I was disappointed that she's just pulling stunts. Like this Martell thing, it's a stunt.
Yeah, I don't
And
think we
it's,
see him anymore, though.
well, good, because bring us something real.
I know the thing with her son. I don't understand
That
why
was
a
cute.
lot more people didn't talk about that. I cried because we watched that little boy. Remember, he was picking out shoes because he was growing out of his shoe. Like we watched him as a child, and she
Yeah.
was such a proud mother, and I just loved every part of it and the strength of a woman, the strength of a mother, and what she's gone through. Like this is what I want from the other Ross. Give me what's going on, the emotions, I want all of that. And Sheree had me in tears. She didn't know she was having a grandchild. Then she got one, and she's so proud of how her son's doing. I love it. Do you think Sheree's picked a side?
I mean, I don't think she's picked a side, but I feel like there's a clear
You
division in
don't?
the group. Has she picked a side?
You don't think she picked a side?
You think she picked Marlo's side? Well, when she was talking to Kandi and them, she's like, I don't know who she was talking to, but she was like, Marlo didn't say that to me, and she didn't say that. She said, I think she was with Drew and Kenya. But I feel like Sheree, she's acting pretty neutral to me. But the thing about it is, the girls want Sheree and Marlo and Courtney, or Sheree, Sanya, and Courtney to actively like gun for Marlo too. And it's like, no, girl. And they want her to hold her accountable. And it's like, no, you hold her accountable. It's your problem. You hold her accountable. Courtney, like when Drew was like, so you okay with this at that Gucci brunch? And Courtney said, well, I'm cool with her, so I'm not here to talk about. And it's like, Drew.
My thing is, and I'm going to be honest,
You better sit
okay
her little
with
Mickey Mouse
what?
built like a box ass down.
Is she okay with what? Marlo, this is another thing with those fans. She damned if she do, she damned if she don't. When she come in and she act a fool or she does all these things, people think she's crazy. Then when she's like, you know what? I don't want to have to do this with you all. I'm just going to leave. Then they're like, oh, now she ran away from a fight.
You're being
She's
childish.
so childish now. I can't believe her. Not the girl who's calling her a bottom rung bitch. Not the girl who's acting like she's choking. That's not childish.
Unprovoked. Calling her a bitch unprovoked. I'm like, Kenya, if somebody was calling you a bitch unprovoked, it's like Marlo came in there with peace and harmony, just like the same. She came when she explained what her issue was to Kandi at the Beat the Mom. She was very like calm and like
agreed.
And Kandi started to get hype. At the Gucci brunch, Kenya started. It's like, Kenya, shut your ass up. And the ass is fake. If you want to talk about that. The ass is fake. It's fake. You look ridiculous. You look stupid trying to convince me and everybody else and the rest of America that ass is real. It's not. It is not. It's a really bad. You should go to Cardi B. Somebody doctor. Get it removed.
I'm not. So this is what I'm confused about. What was the problem with her answer, Sanya's answer? It was just like, sometimes I think it's real, but then when you look at it, then you're kind of like, you never know.
And she's not your friend. You don't act like you too much like her. So why does she have to be loyal or say anything neutral or nice about you? Kenya is delusional, and Kandi's a bit delusional if they think that Sanya owes them loyalty. She just met y'all last year, and Kandi, a trip to Orlando, Florida to go see Mickey Mouse's box ass does not grant you loyalty.
I think she thinks it does.
They keep saying they vacation together. They went to Orlando, Florida. Take me to the south of France and then we'll talk.
I just that part really bothered me, and I listen because I'm trying to understand perspectives, and I listen to other reviewers and in the
Child.
comments where the people are like saying it was wrong for how she said that. I was listening to somebody today, and they were saying she was wrong. She could have said it a different way. Why? Why? I don't see a problem with her saying, I don't know if her booty fake. Sometimes I think it's real, sometimes I don't. And when she responded to Kenya saying, "How would I supposed to know if your booty is real or not?"
And I
Like
wish
I
that
don't. Why are you mad at me?
Sanya really being nice. She just need to go ahead and say, yeah, girl, it looks fake. And
I
if
think the people
any
will
of
hate
them were
her.
real friends, if Kandi was her real friend, because Carlos King said, if Kandi and Kenya real friends, Kandi would tell her friend, sis, it don't look. No, I don't want to body shame the girls. But a
It don't
real
look
friend would
real.
say, if something was on you and it was looking off, I was just like, girl, let me give you the doctor who did my breasts.
Yeah, it's giving cement. It's giving T.S. Madison. But I
Anyways,
don't understand why people felt like it was so wrong. She should have said something else. It's just this season is irritating my
as
soul.
hell.
You know the people are gonna hate this video.
They are. And guess what? They already child by.
They
Anyways,
already
they
hate
already. Listen, and they should be grateful because listen, I don't know why they want to hear the same old regurgitated stuff. I don't know why they want to hear the same old stuff. Every blogger, every Housewives blogger, probably, I think you're the only one, you and maybe Carlos. I've heard everyone have the same old take when it comes to the
Everybody
show.
got the same
And it's
take.
boring. How you feel about Carlos and what he got going on?
Well, one, I am a Carlos stan. So I've loved Carlos King for I want to say it's been almost 15 years that I have been following him, his career, what he does. Um, I think he's amazing at what he does. If I wasn't in the field that I'm working in now, I would definitely want to go into production in producing shows
Wow.
and putting in cast because I feel like well, in my career now, which transfers over really well into entertainment, I'm a really good storyteller. I'm successful in my career because I can convince people of things that maybe they didn't think that they were thinking about, or to vote or do something a certain way. And that's why I find success in the field that I'm in now. And I feel like I'm a great storyteller. I can bring out constituents, voters, individuals, let them tell their stories. I can put it conceptually in a way that convinces you that, you know what, this is what we should do.
Mm.
And I think I take a lot from reality television on storytelling, communication, how to do it, what type of people you should tell this type of story to, and changing and creating narrative change for individuals. And I think that Carlos gets it. Sometimes I think he's overbearing in his, you know how and this person I just he annoys me, but how Jason Lee, you can't have an interview with him without him
Okay, wait a
bringing up.
minute. Scratch. No. I'm just playing.
You know how certain people that he brags a lot on how great he is.
Yeah.
And my thing is let the work speak for itself because we know that. And sometimes it does get a little overbearing because when he has a bad take, because sometimes he does have a bad take, you don't need to say, because I'm the king of reality.
I don't
Yeah.
believe in a bad take. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a bad take. It's not a bad take. It's just we don't
Just
agree. We don't
your
agree.
opinion. I see that.
Um listen, they saying that he needs to focus on his own shows, Carlos. They're
What he
saying
is.
that
We
I'm just
can't
letting you
get more
he's a
traction to
disgruntled ex-employee. They're saying that. They're saying that the ratings for Love and Marriage are down the toilet. They're saying that
when
he
is
wants to be
all
Kandi. He wants to be a housewife. He wants to be Andy Cohen. He's jealous. He wants to sabotage the show. Michelle said that, she thinks that allegedly he wants to sabotage the show. He wants Love and Marriage to be the pinnacle of that housewife sort of style TV.
And the thing is, I see him doing everything right. Like, let's be clear. Well, some people are on Bravo, some people are on OWN. I don't know what shows y'all watching on OWN, but they ain't getting the viewership like that. So I think that his demographic, I don't follow it like that. I feel like even when I see them in the 5s or 600,000, I'm like, seems about right. Because who's watching OWN? Who's watching OWN? Like, so when they say that, oh, the ratings are down, the viewers are not good, it's like, this is OWN. It's like, what are y'all expecting from Nickelodeon? Like, I don't
But see,
get it.
that's why they saying he should focus on it. Focus on those ratings. Focus on getting on to where Bravo is instead of
But he
focusing
doesn't
on where Bravo.
he owns his shows. He does his
But
shows.
you want your shows to do well.
You do, but you can't make the network be something that it's not.
Listen, I love Carlos King too.
I love
and I love the fact I root for everybody gay and black.
Amen.
And I studied multimedia communications, and his company was one that I was eyeing. Love Carlos King. But when he says stuff like Housewives of Atlanta, the season is a C-, it makes me think, okay, well then your show is an F.
Well, they're two separate shows.
But I'm saying, if we're gonna grade this show, let's look at your show, and it's not comparable.
But if we put together the resume, just saying, if we put together the resume, when he was doing this show, the girls were here.
Definitely. And I'm never gonna take that away from him.
Watching. And once he decided to stop doing the show, it did change for all of us. Like, we saw it looked different, it felt different.
In a good way or a bad way?
Same. You said what? In a bad way.
So you think Carlos is a better producer than Eric Fuller?
I don't know if he's a better producer than Eric Fuller. I will say that when Carlos was doing the show, the people were watching. And once he stopped producing the show, the dynamic changed and the people became uninterested. So I think he knows what he's talking about when it comes to this show, because his track record has shown, girl, I know what that show's supposed to look like, and they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing it, everybody was there.
Period.
I'm not doing it, and the people not there. And the people who are there are mad at it. So I think it's fair of him to rate it and grade it. I think it's so weird though that Eric is like even becoming a topic of conversation.
Child, Chile. He had to put his Instagram on private.
Yeah, it's very weird that he even became a topic of conversation.
Why not?
I just don't like, because I feel like we're getting too invested in now people's like actual jobs. And it's bothersome to me. Like, sooner we're gonna start yelling at cameraman number 2. Like, I just don't. We're getting very invested in who's filming, putting the show together. It just, to me, it's just who did the sound music. That's why that scene was off. Like, I feel like soon it will get to that point where they're saying people didn't feel sad for her because the music behind her wasn't right. Whoever the sound producer guy is, it needs to be fired. I see you, David Mills. Like, it's just, why are we're getting too invested.
That's the beauty of Bravo though, because the fans are really crazy. And yes, they do the research. They do the research, and I think that's what makes Bravo so big. That's why you can have YouTube channels that do nothing. People have careers just talking shit about Bravo, because we are so invested and we want to know everything. We're nosy.
I want them to be invested in the show, not the show runners. We could create a show about producers if we want to look into producers, their lives, how they do production. I think they need to start creating a clause that says that for 5 years, you don't talk about production. You don't mention them. You don't say anything. We
For
don't
the
blame them.
Housewives.
Yes, because I feel like that's now where people are going. Like I made a statement yesterday where I was saying, why haven't we seen many scenes of Kenya, Kandi, Drew having fun, having girls' time out, da da da? And they said, well, that's production's fault. What do you mean it's production's fault? How do
Well,
we
it
even know it
partly
was
is.
being filmed? Like, how do we even know it was filmed? Like, we're skipping the
Well, that is
ladies and going
production's
straight
part.
to
That
production.
is production's fault. Like, why was Marlo and Courtney in Alabama in the first place? That's production's fault. They choose what we're going to film. They choose.
And
They have a lot more control.
And that's where I feel like with that once we started bringing in producers, production, the ideas of it, not everybody's a TV show producer.
We are.
And I think we need to keep it surface and level on what is happening on the show. We should be questioning Kenya. Why did Kenya let them come?
But you know what, Busy? We're living in a world, and Eric, he has pretty much stayed in the background. But we're living in a world where the producers, the TV producers, they want to be the talent on the shows. And they also want to be the blogger onto the internets and the social medias. So since you want to take every fucking piece of the pie, you get every fucking thing that comes with it. And this goes for Andy Cohen, Carlos King, and Kandi Burruss because she's a TV producer as well. They are greedy. So guess what? You gonna get all that smoke. You're gonna, because you can't choose a career, and listen, multiple streams of income, I'm here for it, but they have their hand in every fucking basket. Deal with the backlash.
I guess that's true. I wonder how Mona Scott Young stays away from it.
I don't think she really, well, she wanted to be the host. See, once she started like trying to host and do all that other extra stuff, the girls really went the hell in. And sometimes deservingly so, because she has produced some of the trashiest, degrading reality TV on
Oh
television.
my God, more people was watching her shows than the Super Bowl.
And it's trashy and it's degrading, but we have Lemmy outdid her by miles.
Oh my God, I love Zeus.
I mean, Zeus, I feel like I kind of want to boycott how Nene tried to boycott Bravo. I kind of want to boycott Zeus. I think it's disgusting.
I don't want you to do that. Look, there is a market, and this is another thing that I have a problem with reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta. With ensemble casts, everyone sees themselves in someone at some point of time. And everyone's not the same. Who's that girl, Brandy Glanville? People didn't they say, I never watched Real Housewives of whatever she was on,
Beverly Hills.
but didn't they say she was from the opposite sides of the track? She was ghetto. She shouldn't be on the show. She was trashing it down. But every time I've seen Brandy Glanville, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's giving me everything she's giving me everything that I need. Y'all don't have to like her, but I see it. There is a market for everything. And I don't understand why some of us are educated, we're middle class. There, you try not to be the talented 10th. It's so removed from what the black community is doing. We're not a monolith. But when I go back home to New York, none of that they hate me talking about my degree and work and everything because we worried about bullets, gunshots, who got fought, who stole who car. There's more regular people than there are these I'm educated, I speak well, talk well. I think we need good representation in television. There are people, bum fights was a thing. There are people who just want to see, I hate to call it low vibrational, but people who look like them. Yes, I'm a baddie from the South, girl. I'm here to da da da. Like it reminds them of their cousin. Girl, she remind me of you, Nikki. Remember we fought at that club? There's a market for that. And I see it. I love it. It reminds me of my family members. Does it make us look in a bad or negative light? There's all different types of people. Like there's all different types of people. And at this point, it is getting exhausting how every show that we have to do the black experience, go black power, black in the best. It's when does trashy entertainment become our thing? Because white people get to do it all the time.
Well, there's nothing wrong with seeing low vibrational people on TV. There's nothing wrong with hood
We should call it
folks
something else. I
being
feel so
on.
bad calling it that.
I mean, Zeus is low vibrational. And it's nothing wrong with hood people being on TV. How Courtney said ghetto people. It's nothing wrong with them being represented on TV. There is something wrong with cultivating an environment for violence. There is something wrong with that. And I don't know if this is a good, sort of analogy, but remember when there was a stampede at Travis Scott concert and people died?
Yeah.
Years before that, Travis Scott had cultivated a fan base in which he would tell them to bum rush security, do the mosh pits, act as crazy as you want to act, don't pay for the ticket, just run through security. You cultivated that environment. So then it becomes too much and people died. And now you have regrets.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Zeus. It's going to get to a point where I feel like somebody seriously is going to get for real hurt.
Harmed, yeah. Because Raz B in this last episode of Bad Boys, he pulled out a knife on Orlando Brown.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit's son, Kirk Franklin's son.
Carry On.
Yeah, Carry On.
So
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like they're going into a realm where there's high risk. And I don't know who over there at Zeus who has good business credit. I don't know where they're getting all this fucking money from. Because are the subscriptions that damn good?
They have to be. Everybody I know is watching it. Keke Palmer says she loves Zeus.
Well, you don't want a lawsuit one day that's gonna get you bankrupt. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like it's too much. And then the stories, they could do better at telling stories.
No, I agree with that.
It's kind of like a free for all. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching the episode in real time. Like, where's the editing?
I can agree with that, but do we need it? If they're so raw, so real, so down to, maybe we don't even need any of that. Remember when what's that show with all the gay guys chasing, whatever started?
Yes.
It was a little bit more real raw before they got a little bit more the money up. But you're just seeing these people as who they are. Some of it looked like it was filmed on an Android.
True.
We're just seeing how it is in real form. We're not trying to be like the others. We're just trying to be us. And do I think he can possibly have a lawsuit on his hands? Maybe in the future. I do see what you're saying about cultivating that environment of violence. And I'm hoping that his lawyers and everyone's thinking of that and the way that they cast and how they have security. I mean, Bad Girls Club ran for a long time. And that was truly an environment for violence. But and people were breaking glasses and everything. But for years we let that show run. So I say, look, if the trashy stuff is gonna happen, I'm okay with Mr. Plummer giving me the trashy stuff. There's an audience for everyone.
Well, thank you, Busy, for joining me. And
we talked forever.
I know. This was such a good combo.
It was.
Thank you. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Busy Blue on YouTube. You can find me at Busy Blue on Instagram and on Twitter. You'll definitely see me more on Twitter. I have tons of opinions, tons of thoughts, tons of ideas. And then I also have a show, Sipping Key with Busy and Jolene. You can subscribe to that one as well.
Yes. Again, thank you. And we're going to have you back.
Yes, Black by popular demand. Next month.
You got to become a series regular.
Let's do it.
All right. Love you, Busy.
Love you too.
Bye.